Bord Bia, supporting Irish horticulture and proud sponsors of Homegrown.
Ireland has abundant green fields and rolling hills, but beneath this beauty lies a challenge. How can we make farming and horticulture more sustainable while improving soil health and fighting climate change? One possible answer may lie in an ancient technique that has been given a modern twist: biochar. So what is biochar? It's similar to charcoal, but it can be produced specifically as a soil amendment. It's a carbon-rich material made from organic waste, and it's emerging as a potentially revolutionary tool within horticulture. Biochar is created by heating organic matter in a low-oxygen environment through a process called pyrolysis. This high-temperature process drives off gases and leaves behind a stable, porous form of carbon, to which beneficial microbes can be added. Adding the microbes turns the biochar into a beneficial soil conditioner. The Arigna Group in Roscommon has the largest biochar production facility in Europe. So how is biochar actually made?
Our material is an organic material. It's effectively the pip from the olive oil. So when the olive stones arrive in Arigna, then they go into the hopper, they're crushed into kind of a finer material. At that point, it goes into our dryer, which is our first big machine where all the moisture and water is driven off it. It then goes into our pyrolysis machine, and that's where kind of all the big, kind of the biochar reaction and the syngas is generated. So basically, it's cooked. It's kind of like a charcoaling process. Biochar is a relatively new product. Is there a market there for it? Yeah, initially at the moment, the biggest market for us at the moment is in the biochar briquette, as a home heating device to replace your fossil fuels. One of the big ones is in the horticultural sector. We've done a lot of work with Dr. O'Hanlon. And we also think there's a lot of opportunities in the agricultural sector as well, because biochar can be used potentially in the future to replace some of the chemical fertilisers on the land. But why has it the potential to be so valuable in the horticultural industry? Well, I've travelled to Kildare to meet Dr. Karen O'Hanlon from ProBioCarbon, which is a pioneering company in biochar technology. To find out more about how they're taking biochar one step further. So what is the next step? Well, they inoculate the biochar with a bacteria that is beneficial, transforming it into an active, living soil amendment. So Karen, now that the biochar is inoculated, how would you describe your ProBioCarbon?
It's a carrier, so it's a substrate, and these particular microbes is a Bacillus subtilis that you put onto it, that's a spore former.
So what is the role of the microbes then?
The microbes are signalled by the plant, and they're telling the microbes what they want. So the microbe's job then is to go off and get the nutrients in the soil around the plant. It comes back, it enters into the plant through the root tip, and it can travel through all the tissue in the plant, and it can deliver it to where it's needed. While it's doing that, it can also go into battle with some pathogenic fungi, weakening them, so the disease drops, and it can also nearly transform these pathogenic fungi into beneficials. The plant actually becomes hardier and stress resistant because it's farming these microbes.
So your biochar is starting to gain more interest within horticulture. What applications can it have?
Well, it has three main benefits. So it is environmental benefit. If you apply 1 kilogram of biochar, you'll sequester 3.5 kilograms of CO2 from the atmosphere. Fertilising benefits, I mean, things can grow in 100% biochar. And then it also improves the soil health, so you're adding organic matter to the soil.
Ireland's horticultural industry is slowly embracing biochar to boost productivity, reduce fertiliser use and improve the long-term health of soils. Whether it's fruit, vegetables or ornamental plants, biochar has the potential to be a game changer for growers. So I've arranged to meet Richard Bradley, a head gardener in Cobblestan, who's been using Karen's biochar.
We're incorporating it in where we're planting new plants, the likes of a couple of lovely fuchsias here, and you're seeing increased flower, and they establish really, really well.
Where else have you noticed its benefits?
The biggest thing has been on our box hedges here. And when I started, this whole hedge here was infected with box blight. It was really badly affected.
You can see the signs of the box blight, all that loss.
Yeah, it's regrown, but at the start there was only about this much on both sides, and the middle of it was completely dead. So it has worked really well for that.
So you're applying biochar to the actual soil?
We've put it in along all the box hedges.
Okay.
And we've also treated with ProBio, the liquid formulation as well, and they've recovered really well.
According to Dr. O'Hanlon, not only does biochar improve soil structure and fertility, but it can play a key role in reducing Ireland's agricultural carbon footprint. In a country where over 1/3 of greenhouse gas emissions come from agriculture, biochar may be able to offer a sustainable solution. So what do you see the future for biochar within horticulture?
Certainly the sustainability of it. In the future, I mean, the gardeners have all this green waste that they can just use themselves to create their own biochar. And it's a perfect closed system of sustainability.
Across Ireland, biochar is gaining recognition for its ability to improve the productivity and sustainability of horticulture. And in a world where the impacts of climate change and soil degradation are impossible to ignore, biochar may offer a sustainable solution.
Bord Bia, supporting Irish horticulture and proud sponsors of Homegrown.